UFC Saudi Arabia just wrapped up, and this is a lightning speed recap because I have to go to a wedding immediately after this. We're going to jump right into it. Make sure you smash the likes. If you're new, subscribe. I'm starting off with the main event. Aliskerov got destroyed in 1 minute by Robert Whittaker. Whittaker was just way too fast on the feet and precise. Aliskerov didn't even shoot a takedown. He didn't even try to wrestle. He had zero answer for Robert Whittaker's striking. The movement was on point for Whittaker. The accuracy with the shots was incredible. And he had Aliskerov caught with a big punch and then just completely buckling, uppercut against the cage, drops him, and then he finishes him off with one more shot, and the ref jumps in. All this did was really solidify, don't fuck with Rob Whittaker. He's still one of the best in the world. Granted, Aliskerov was unproven in the UFC middleweight division. He was one of the hottest prospects in the world, and it was very easy to get on the bandwagon. I fell on it. I was like, nah, he's going to get him down. He's not going to get knocked out. Well, damn, Whittaker shut me up fast. Rob Whittaker looked like a savage out there. And now he's interested in being the backup fighter for Perth, Australia. But what if they do the Sean Strickland fight? Is Strickland going to wait in the wings for a title shot? Maybe. Because then Rob Whittaker is going to need one more. Would he have to fight a Nasruddin Imavov? It's a very interesting log jam at the top, and this is not my every fight to make video. I will be doing that probably in 2 days, so keep your eyes on the channel for that. But leaning right now, like, I'm very down to see Robert Whittaker take on Sean Strickland in what could be a pretty badass fight. This performance just solidified he's still got the goods, man. His hands were too fast. Aliskerov, I guess the question marks around the chin were answered. Maybe they're there, but it's also Whittaker's precision was just completely off the charts, and he destroyed Aliskerov in, what, 1:49 seconds? He looked way faster, way cleaner on the feet. There wasn't even a risk of a takedown. Aliskerov got destroyed, and you know what? I guess the truth is you can't jump from Warley Alves to Rob Whittaker on short notice. It's just a recipe to get knocked out, and we saw that happen with Aliskerov. But I will say, it leaves me with questions like, what if the Hamzat fight would have happened? What if Hamzat got caught striking with Rob? Would he have got knocked out too? I'm really interested in the Hamzat-Chimaev fight. The issue is Hamzat's health. So if that is not in order and Rob Whittaker wants a quick turnaround, that fight might be out the window. But if there's a possibility of Hamzat-Chimaev being ready and bouncing back quickly, it might be crazy to say, but you could add him to Perth, Australia if they wanted to do that. Or potentially when the UFC goes to Abu Dhabi, I believe in September, that's a pretty great co-main event. But the fear is what happens if Hamzat pulls out again and then Rob Whittaker is left without an opponent again. The Sean Strickland fight is like more of a sure thing because most likely Strickland's showing up, sick or not. So a lot of question marks around it. We shall see. Good main event nonetheless. I want to lighten and speed it. Let's get to the co-main. Volkov, Pavlovich. I picked Alexander Volkov to win, so I have to flex this pick. Regardless of what happened in the main event, this was the biggest underdog that hit on the card. And I said, if it goes past the first round, it's Volkov. And not only did it go past the first round, Alexander Volkov boxed Sergey Pavlovich face off for the entire fight. Kicked him up too, beautifully to the legs, touched him from the outside, was moving beautifully with combination shots on him, and Pavlovich could do nothing from the outside. He landed a couple punches, but absolutely nothing devastating. He was looking for big winging shots, and Volkov was just way too quick and too precise for him. He completely picked him apart. It was such an impressive win for Volkov, especially that everybody wrote him off because Pavlovich is the hype train, Pavlovich is the powerhouse, Pavlovich is a terrifying force. But I had a feeling because they trained together, Volkov would have the defensive capabilities to win this, and he would have a path to victory that many others who hadn't seen Pavlovich in the training room wouldn't. And Volkov did exactly that. Out kickboxed him for 3 rounds. Best performance of Alexander Volkov's career. And I swear, Volkov is now a contender in that top 5, top 4 even. Like, he's in a #1 contender spot. I think the fight between him and Cyril Gane is better than doing Gane versus Jailton Almeida, simply because a fight before, Jailton Almeida looked like a bum against Curtis Blaydes, getting completely destroyed. And then he beat Romanov. Volkov just beat Pavlovich. I think he deserves a massive fight. And the Cyril Gane kickboxing match is a very interesting fight. Now, if you look at Alexander Volkov's resume, just look at the losses. Cyril Gane back in 2021. Is it crazy to see those two run it back with the best version of Volkov? I could see maybe them not doing it simply because they fought once before. But Volkov's a top caliber guy. I mean, he's got to be somewhere in the mix. I don't know how long he wants to wait on the sidelines. Maybe the Gane fight won't happen because it would be a rematch that I guess is not that convincing to sell once again. But striker versus striker is probably of interest for the UFC, especially doing a card in France, whereas Jailton Almeida has a massive grappling advantage over Gane, and that could be a big risk matchup. I don't know exactly what the UFC is going to do. I'll match make this fight as I sleep on it a little more and come up with something. But for Pavlovich, Rough loss. Getting completely destroyed like this after getting brutally knocked out in his last fight, not good for his career. Moving forward for Pavlovich, the truth is, if you can slip and move on him, you can outbox him. If you could catch him with a huge shot, you can put him out, but not many guys will put him out. I still think Pavlovich is top 6. I just think he doesn't have the speed for like a Volkov who's very long. I think him and Cyril Gane would also be a very interesting fight because I think he would struggle with Cyril Gane's mobility as well. Volkov, 10 out of 10 performance and biggest win of his career. Best performance of his career. Fight before, Kelvin Gastelum, D-Rod, in a fight that was a little too close for comfort. Gastelum's wrestling got him the win. Now, Kelvin Gastelum looked pretty solid in this fight as far as takedowns, control, landing shots on the feet. It wasn't an awful performance, but it was supposed to be at 170, and then Gastelum needed the fight at 185 because he's still eating tacos a few weeks out. My issue is this version of Kelvin Gastelum is substantially worse than what we saw in Kelvin Gastelum's prime when he was going distance with Israel Adesanya, absolutely rocking Chris Weidman in a fight, knocking out Vitor Belfort, Jacare Souza, and a list of guys. Michael Bisping was on commentary. This isn't the same Gastelum. He's lost that same accuracy and timing. Now, is it age? Is it him not taking his career serious? I don't know. He said after the UFC, this is his dream. He wants to be champ. This doesn't look like championship Kelvin Gastelum. And I'll say this. If I'm the UFC, I am not allowing him to fight at 170 again after this week. You're fighting at 85 and you're staying there. He has to. He doesn't deserve to fight at 170. He beat D-Rod in a fight that was super close. And D-Rod was below 185, getting ready to cut that final 10 pounds and get to 170 when he got the call that Gastelum needs to fight at middleweight. So D-Rod was pretty game. And Gastelum's size advantage late with the wrestling, kind of a key to his victory nonetheless. But still, W for Gastelum and a W call on the lock. Fight before, Shara Bullet way too close with Antonio Trócoli. Way too close. Super uncomfortably close. First round, Trócoli actually caught Char with a good straight and pressed him against the cage. Still, Magomedov's takedown defense was there. His striking was on point. Trócoli's got a freakish frame to deal with as long as he is. And Magomedov did end up getting a knockout, but it was in the 3rd round, and it was a fight that I think kind of stalled the hype even more. The Bruno Silva fight hurt the hype a little. The Trócoli fight really stunted the hype. Char Bullet has questionable grappling. I know the defense on the takedowns is better, but what is Trócoli's wrestling level compared to some of these guys that actually got legit takedowns? Char Bullet has good precision kickboxing, but it's calculated, and I think he'll struggle with guys that can get in boxing range and bully him a little bit. Still, fun look, badass style, sick knockout win, but against what? An Antonio Trócoli who flew the day before the fight to land for weigh-ins from America? You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of question marks around Char Bullet. Volkan Oezdemir absolutely destroyed Johnny Walker, and I felt like crying when this happened because Johnny Walker is one of my favorites. Forget about his skill set, just his personality, his aura, his awkwardness. Volkan Oezdemir was just way too precise with the hands, and he knocked him out viciously in the 1st round. I was scared for Walker's health at the end of it. I really thought Father Walker would be something different, but ultimately the chin can't hold up to the bombs, and Volkan Oezdemir destroyed him. Now, I'm going to run into the prelims. I got to go lightning mode because, like I said, man, I got a wedding to go to. Nasrat Haqparast, Jared Gordon. This fight was too damn close for comfort. I won't call it a robbery, but I would not have complained if they gave it to Gordon. They were brawling pretty much the whole time. Big shots for both. Gordon a little bit better with the pressure. Haqparast a little bit cleaner with the strikes and a little more precision on his shots. Close decision goes the way of Haqparast. But like I said, I wouldn't cry if it went the other way, and Gordon landed some good punches. So at the end of it, I thought you could have flipped the coin. And whatever that result would have been, I wouldn't have cried about it. No guy put a substantial lead out there. It was super close and competitive. Not a controversial decision, in my opinion. A close fight that could have went either way. And Jared Gordon, because he looked so much better than what was anticipated, a lot of people are thinking he deserved the win. Fight before that, Felipe Lima is the most badass prospect in the UFC. Round of applause. Like, I think Felipe Lima might be a future bantamweight champ. The dude looks high fight IQ, exceptional fight, close with Naimov, but I think he did lose the first 2 rounds. But then he submits him in the 3rd round, and this is a huge win. Naimov's 3-0 in the UFC. Naimov has a win against Nathaniel Wood. He's got a knockout over Jamie Malarkey. And Felipe Lima came in, strangled him on days' notice. It was badass. And he's a bantamweight. And he looked like a full-fledged featherweight. Super explosive and slick. The jiu-jitsu is nasty. The gas tank is there. I cannot imagine this guy on a full camp. I think he is one of the most terrifying prospects we have. Bantamweight especially. But damn, even in featherweight if he wants to stick around here. 10 out of 10 on the comeback win. Felipe Lima's awesome, and I'm a fan, and I'm going to be probably picking him every fight here on out. Fight before, Rinat Fakhretdinov, close as hell. I thought it would be competitive, and damn it was. Split decision win, which I think was a deserving win for Fakhretdinov. I think he got it by this much, but Dalby was game as fuck. Hit Fakhretdinov with some good shots, and we end up getting a split decision. For Fakhretdinov coming off of the draw with Zaleski and coming into this fight, I'm going to say it just exactly how it is. The hype of him being a legit threat to a world title or anything like that, nilch, zero. Top 15, he's teetering on the edge. Nicolas Dalby almost got this fight. It was super competitive, and Dalby had some good striking moments. He was very strong defensively in the grappling. He got taken down a few times, bursted back up to his feet. Dalby's a dog, man, and he's got the craziest breathing technique ever. Fakhretdinov at the end is like swinging turtle punches like a damn madman. So super close at the very end. I probably wouldn't have cried if it went the other way, but thankfully Fakhretdinov won. But something I said all week is the odds were way too wide for this fight, and it looked like an even odds fight, and Fakhretdinov, who was a huge favorite, ended up winning. Muin Gafurov beat Kyung Kang. Gafurov was too explosive and precise with the hands. He was too athletic. He wanted to win more than Kang, and Kang mostly just took him down, gets mounted, and doesn't do shit from it. Whereas Gafurov is throwing big shots, kind of made Kang his bitch a little at the end, throwing shots at him from top on the ground, like he's standing and Kang's on his knees, and Gafurov is ripping him to steal the second round after he'd been mounted. Third round, same type of thing. Kang out-wrestled him a bit, but then Gafurov doing more damage late. Damage trumps all. He gets the W, and in the first round, Gafurov looked quick as hell. So this is a big win for Muin Gafurov, but both guys questionable fight IQs. Still, it shows Gafurov at the very least deserves to be in the UFC. He's still relatively young at 28, and he is pretty explosive with the hands, but I think he should be a flyweight. I think he can make 125. He's fighting at 35 with a belly on him. Fight before, Magomedov, Gadzhiyasulov, Brenson Ribeiro. This fight was too damn close. Brenson Ribeiro destroyed the leg of Gadzhiyasulov in the first round, was throwing heavy shots, even out-wrestling Gadzhiyasulov early. But then, because he's not really a grappler, he's not really a wrestler, fatigued a little, Gadzhiyasulov got the better of him in the grappling positions for the next two rounds, controlling from top position. Not any near finishing moments. I actually think if Gadzhiyasulov would have pushed it a little bit, he might have been able to get a finish, but ultimately didn't push it at all and pulls off a decision win. And the hype on Gadzhiyasulov dies down a bit. But I am a Brenson Ribeiro fan. Give him a guy that can just strike. I think he's going to knock some people out, and they're definitely not cutting him because he's got a fun style, and his kicks are scary. First fight, Chang Ho Lee, Long Xiao. I thought Long Xiao got the decision, actually. I thought this was a little bit of a bad decision. Very close, though. Very close, but I thought Lee might have lost it 29-28. Again, is it a full robbery as close as it was? No. Chang Ho Lee had good striking moments, a lot of knees inside, which kind of won him the fight. But it was close till the very end. They mixed it up pretty well. You know, not a overly impressive fight. Like, yo, these guys are the next guys on the come up. Keep an eye on them. It was good game, good fight, fun stylistic matchup with both guys pushing a high pace and mixing it up. Both with solid gas tanks too. But ultimately, Chang Ho Lee got his hand raised on an ever so slight split decision for this road to the UFC win when I really thought they were going to give it to Long Xiao. But respect to Chang Ho Lee. Now, I do want to quickly wrap up with the picks. Started off with a win with Chang Ho Lee, win with Magomedov Gadzhiyasulov, lost Kang to Gafurov, win Fakhretdinov Dalby, lost Naimov to Lima because Lima's that one, win Haqparast Gordon, loss on the pick flip with Walker to Oezdemir. I should have stuck with my initial lead, but it is what it is. I'm a big Walker fan. I got blindsided. Win Shara Bullet over Trócoli. Win Gastelum, the lock over D-Rod. Win Volkov, the biggest underdog of the night pick over Pavlovich, which most people didn't call, and then lose the main event with Aliskerov because Whittaker is just that motherfucker and beat the shit out of him. Yeah. That was UFC Saudi Arabia, and this was the quickest post-fight recap ever. Ultimately, the record 7-4 finishes with a disappointing main event loss, but I have to be happy with the lock coming through, getting that fucking hex off of me, and then the biggest underdog winner on the card, Volkov, coming through. Ultimately, solid picks overall. I hope you guys enjoyed the week's worth of content, and if you're betting, hopefully it's responsibly and you cash in too. Thank you guys for tuning in to the quick recap. Much love. I'm going to a wedding. I'll see you later. Smash the likes if you're new, subscribe, and W in the comments if you got nothing to say. I'm out of here. Peace.